So just starting to play around in downward facing dog and doing whatever feels good. So if you do something and you find a tight spot, dig on in and explore that maybe. If the shoulders are tight or those backs of the legs are really tight this morning, maybe you take those hands and feet a little wider. There's no right or wrong, just whatever feels good. When I do my home practice, this is kind of always the place that I start just to kind of check in, because you can almost touch every part of the body here. All right, let's shift forward into a plank and scooch those feet in if they're wide so that they're right underneath you. And then get those wrists right underneath the shoulders. So you might have to adjust the feet a little bit to get that nice straight line. And push on up through those arms. So push on up away from the floor, get that nice smooth space in the upper back. Lift the knees up and press back through the heels and draw the belly into the spine and gaze in between the thumbs and just breathe. Keep pushing up through the arms. And then use your core to slowly start lifting the hips really slow so you feel that little bit of shake as we go back to our down dog. We're not going to readjust anything. We're probably not going to be in a perfect down dog, so we're going to come right back forward. So shift back, stretch it out, and then slowly move back forward. Inhale, push up, 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 and drop those knees down. Keep those toes tucked as you push back through those hips all the way back to the heels. Stretch it out and shift forward and bring that chest on down to the floor. So you might have to adjust the hands a little bit so that they're where they need to be for your cobra. And we're going to come up and down a couple times. So just a few gentle baby cobras up and down, only as high as feels good. And it feels like you can't push up, try adjusting the hands and dig into the heels of the hands. The fingers are light, just up on the inhale, slowly down on the exhale. Squeeze those glutes. Draw the belly into the spine as you push up. We're not looking, obviously, this very early point in our practice, we're not looking for our strongest cobra or biggest cobra. One more time. And come on down. Tuck those toes again. Get those big toes nice and tucked. Push straight up nice and strong. And back to those heels again. Stretch it out. And then back up to our downward facing dog. So let's get those feet on railroad tracks. So we've got those 6 inches or so in between the feet, maybe a little more. And root those hands and just bend that right knee and sink that left heel down. So push on back as you draw that heel down. Gaze back inside that ankle. And stretch out those right toes. And then switch. So really pull that heel away from the floor on that left side as you sink that right heel down. Draw the belly in, push back. Notice the difference from this side to the other if there is any. Then draw that other heel down, push back. And shift forward into your plank again. You might have to adjust the feet a little bit. Push up, 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 up. Knees lift away from the floor. Press back through those heels. Draw the belly into the spine. Keep pushing up through those arms. Imagine my hand coming and going across that upper back like I do in class sometimes, trying not to let me catch those shoulder blades. Inhale, push up. Exhale again, core. So start to tuck into the spine. So that belly into the spine as you slowly, slowly, slowly go back to down dog. So we have to use those core muscles to take us back instead of momentum. Push on back, stretch it out. Shift back forward. Push up, inhale. Exhale, knees down. Press the hips back to the heels, stretch it out. Shift forward, nice inhale. And exhale, lie down. All right, so let's take a little more time to find this cobra. Again, we might not be ready for our biggest cobra. Press that pubic bone down. Pull the belly button up into the spine now and squeeze the glutes and reach through the toes. Then press into those hands. Draw the shoulders down and back. Hug the shoulder blades together as you press up. Only as far as feels good. Listen to your body. Nice inhale, lift the chin. And exhale, slowly bring it down. Get those toes tucked again. Nice and slow and strong up. One big long inhale. And exhale, press back to those heels. Stretch it out. And then bring it up. Back to our down dog. All right, so this time let's do that twist with the feet. So spin those feet to the left a little bit. Sink into that left heel. Push back as you pull the left hip back and draw the right knee over towards the left and peek underneath that left arm. And keep pulling back through that left hip. And switch, other side. Sink that right heel down, pull that right hip back, push into that right side a bit as you draw that left knee over and peek underneath that right arm. And come on back, push it back, stretch it out. Nice inhale, exhale. This time walk those feet on forward to the hands. A little bit of space in between those feet. Nice inhale, half lift. And exhale, say good morning to those hamstrings. Grab the backs of those legs, pull that heart forward, shoulders back. So because it's just the two of you, and I know most of you, or that I know where you guys are at in your practice, I might not use as many cues as I often do. Because I think you guys have done a few of these forward bends now and you kind of know how to do them, right? And Kristen too, when she watches later, she'll be okay. Okay, Kristen? All right, pull that heart forward. How much stretch feels right and good for your body in this moment? Bend the knees slightly, sweep the arms up, nice big inhale, and exhale to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, dive right back to where we were. Find that stretch. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, step those feet back to that plank. Look back at those feet, get them positioned where they need to be, and then find that nice solid plank we've been working on. Spread those fingers and push on up from the heel of the hand all the way up through to those shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, push the hips back, and then shift forward and knees, chest, chin to the floor. All right, this time just lift that chest up, bring those arms along the sides, palms facing in, squeeze the shoulder blades together and reach those fingertips for the wall behind you. Keep the big toes pressing into the floor as you just lift that chest up a little bit more. Squeeze those glutes, but try not to let the toes lift. So when we squeeze the glutes, the legs want to lift. Try not to let them. We want this in the upper back. So keep those shoulders drawing together. We'll interlace next time if you're just dying to interlace. Next time, inhale, push the belly into the floor and lift up and slowly come on down, hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. So we're gonna go back a little bit slower this time because we just used a lot of those back muscles, so we don't wanna shock them. So push on up, nice big inhale. And nice and slow, press those hips back to the heels. Stretch it out. And then back up to our downward facing dog. All right, taking it a little deeper with our down dog. So root those hands, sink into that left heel and let that right leg float up. Square off the hips and push back and just look back at that left ankle. Keep those shoulders strong. Try not to, we push over to the left to make it easier. So try your best to stay at center. You got to get some core going. Nice inhale, lift. And exhale, kick that foot through to low lunge. Lift that back knee up. Sink down into that right hip. Find that length from the heel to the crown. Arms along the sides, just like we had them in locust pose a moment ago. So reach through those fingertips. Draw the shoulders back and down. Gaze inside that foot. Find the breath. And fingers to the floor for balance. Hop it forward. Nice inhale, half lift. And exhale, hinge. All the way up, big inhale. And exhale to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, dive. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, take it back to your plank. Finding that nice solid plank. Push up, 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 up. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, push back first. Back to our extended variation, and then shift forward and bring it down to the floor. All right, so we'll take that Shalabhasana, that locust pose, a little deeper. So interlace, squeeze the shoulder blades together, push back through those knuckles. You can keep them low. They can kind of rest right on your buns. And then press that pubic bone down, squeeze the glutes, big toes on the floor again. Rise up, push those knuckles to the wall behind you, and push the belly into the floor. Either gaze forward or you can look down. Chin doesn't have to lift. Inhale, push back, lift up, let go. Bring those hands down under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Push straight up, nice big inhale. And back to the heels, stretch it out. Stretching out all those muscles we just used. And back to our down dog once again. So same thing we just did, except that other leg. So root down into that right heel, float that left leg up, square off the hips. I always have to do kind of a little hip wiggle there to get those hips in place. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Look back at that right ankle. Reach through that left leg. Maybe lift it a little higher. Nice inhale, exhale. Bring it on through to our lunge. Take a moment to square off there. Get nice and solid. Lift that right knee up. Lengthen from heel to crown. Float those arms along the sides into our airplane arms. Sink into that left hip. Fingers to the floor for balance. Hop it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hinge. All the way up into the heart. Inhale. All right, let's pause here this time. Tuck the tailbone, so pull the belly button. You can't see me. I'm gonna move back a little bit here. All right, so draw the belly button into the spine and reach on up. Nice inhale. Go back, lift the heart to the ceiling. And reach through those fingertips. Nice inhale. Use your core to bring you back, forward, and all the way down. Uttanasana, forward bend. Grab the backs of those legs. Pull the heart through and draw that belly into the thighs. Maybe you can go a little further this time, maybe not. And bend those knees, step that right foot back to our low lunge. Lift that knee up, press back through that heel again. This time interlace those hands behind. Squeeze the shoulder blades together just like we did in our locust pose. Press on back. Lengthen from the heel to the crown. You're laying right down on that thigh. And then release that knee to the floor. Sweep the arms up. Reach up and sink down. Draw the belly button into the spine as you go back. Reach through those fingertips, breathe. Imagine you're holding a big beach ball or a nice, we got a full moon coming up, or I think it's coming up, right? And slowly release, or did it pass? All I know is I looked out the window last night and saw an almost full moon. Open up that arm. I wasn't paying attention this month. So plant that right palm down, open that left arm up. Hopefully I'm saying rights and lefts correctly. If I'm not, ignore me and do what you're supposed to. And draw it back. Come on back to center. Tuck those toes, lift that knee, and step it on back to our plank. Once again, push on up. Getting those arms nice and strong. Nice inhale. Exhale, knees down. Lie down. All right. So, we got to turn off the heat. I cranked it up because I was freezing. And now we're getting a little warm and I don't need it 73 in here. All right, so we're coming all the way down to our forehead. So you can make a pillow for the head with the hands if you want, or you can just rest the head on the floor and bring your arms along your sides. Whatever is more comfortable. Okay, as we work into the legs, I like my forehead on the floor, so I'm gonna go there. All right, and we're just gonna lift one leg first. So press the pubic bone down again, squeeze the glutes, and lift one leg up. Reach through those toes and bring it down. Other side, draw the belly into the spine as you do that. And bring it down. And both legs lift. Just let them go where they want to go. So if they feel like they want to fly apart a little bit, let them. That's okay. We're not going to force them to stay together. You can see what it feels like to try and keep them close together. I can't hardly lift them. If I let them go wide, I can lift them quite high. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring those hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, push on up, nice inhale. And exhale back to the heels. Stretch out all those muscles again. And come on up. All right, back to our down dog. Root down into that left heel, float that right leg up. Nice inhale, lift it high. Exhale, kick it through. So we're on that opposite side, hopefully, if I remembered rights and lefts properly. We want to be on the opposite side we were just on. So lift that back knee up, press back through that heel, interlace behind. Try and switch that interlace to the funky feeling grasp. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, press back through those knuckles and sink into it. Find the breath. And drop that knee down, lift those arms up, push back a little bit so you can find that length. Pull the belly into the spine as you sink down and draw those arms back. So as you draw those arms back, find that full moon again or that beach ball. Keep that belly pulling in, breathe. Nice inhale, exhale, release it for our twist. Hand plants, other arm opens up, push away from the floor, reach for the ceiling and open into your twist. Breathe. And bring it back to center, tuck those toes, nice inhale, lift the knee, and exhale, spring it forward. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, hinge. Nice big inhale all the way up. And to the heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step that left foot back to your low lunge. Same side we just did. Square off those hips and rise up. So stay low. So you're not gonna be able to rise up like we would if we were in a high lunge. So watch that back. It's bouncy, so get your drishti. Pull the belly in, but lift the knee up to really get into the front of that hip. Hands on the hips. If it feels okay, they can float up. Find that breath. Knee down. You can keep the toes tucked or let the foot drop down back into our Anjaneyasana. Maybe a little deeper this time, maybe not. Inhale, exhale, Ardha Hanuman this time, so that back foot needs to rest down. If it's not, pivot those hips, get those nice square hips before you go. Keep that long spine. Find your stretch. Use those blocks if you need them. I don't think you guys do. All right, we're gonna hop it forward instead of step it back. All right, so shift on forward, tuck those back toes under. We're gonna float the leg up behind us though, okay? So hop it forward, walk those hands forward, square off the hips. So we've got a bend in that right knee, stretch out that left leg, reach through the heel. Okay, float those arms along the sides into airplane arms if you can. That right knee is still bent. It's like we're almost kind of laying on that thigh. All right, bend that knee deeper. So lower down and then straighten. And lower and lift. Woohoo. Might need to keep those left fingertips on the floor for a little balance if you need to, that's okay. I needed to there. Just up and down, trying to get into the outside of that right glute. Now we're going for the high lunge. So fingers to the floor, drop that foot down, rise up. Oops, a little higher. Same thing we just did, we're a little higher, it's a little easier to rise up. Okay, so get that back leg strong again. Get your drishti, sink into it. Draw the belly into the spine, float those arms up. Find the breath. Go back if it feels okay. Interlace the fingers if that's available and stretch those first fingers up to the sky. And then gaze forward, dive it forward. Oh my God, I don't know if my hip can take it. And that tree is in the way. It's my excuse for having to come out of it. I can't do it, I'm too tired. Floating into some variation of warrior 3 here with those arms extended forward. And warrior 2. Let those arms down, let those shoulders relax. Take a moment, look at your stance. Open up that right knee, sink into that left hip. Good morning. All right, so let's maybe give those hips a little wiggle. Trying to loosen up the inside of that left inner thigh, that left groin. All right, and then sink it down, draw the belly in, open up that knee, float those arms up. Shoulders drop down. Gaze over those right finger to that right first fingernail. And start reaching for the wall in front of you until you feel like you can almost lay down on that thigh and reach those fingertips down and reach those left fingertips up. If you can't get to the floor, that's okay. Use your elbow on the thigh. Sink into it. All right, so we're gonna come into Vasisthasana with the left hand down, okay? So come down, plant that left palm, spin open to the opposite side, and slide that right foot back into Vasisthasana, side plank. Reach for the ceiling. Get those legs strong, so press those knees back. And you wanna feel like you're in plank here, except you're on the side. Come on around to plank. Inhale, push up, 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 up. Knees down, lie down. All right, arms along the sides, palms facing in. You can also interlace if you want, but I'm gonna offer for the arms. Well, maybe we'll wait for the arms to come forward on the next one. All right, so arms along the sides, you can interlace if you want. Float those legs up, lift the chest up. Reach back through those fingertips or knuckles. Again, let the legs just kind of go where they wanna go. And just try and lift the heels up to the ceiling. Draw the shoulders back, reach and breathe. And slowly release, palms under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, push straight up. And push back to those heels. Stretch it out. And up to our downward facing dog. And I'm gonna grab a drink. All right, so we're gonna float that left leg up. Square off the hips. Nice inhale, lift it high. Exhale, kick it on through. Did we do first in that low lunge? Arms along the sides. We float, that's right, we floated up, okay. Lift that right knee up, press back through that heel. Rise up, but we're low. So we're not doing that high lunge variation, it's the low lunge variation first because we didn't do this side yet, right? So pull back through the belly, lift the knee up, get strong in that back leg. Maybe those arms float up, maybe not. Slowly bring the knee down with control. Keep those toes tucked if you did on the other side, and find our Anjaneyasana. Again, if you let the foot float down on the other side, then do it on this side. Nice inhale, exhale. Let that foot rest down if it's tucked, and Ardha Hanuman. Push on back, stretch it on out. Pivot those hips, get that nice stretch. We need it for what's coming up next. All right, bend that knee, hop it forward. Let's find our balance first. So that right leg's floating on behind you, reach through that heel, get that nice straight line. So bring that hip down, So you're nice and square. Float the arms along the sides. Let's see if I can do it on this side. Into airplane arms. And bend the knee a little deeper and straighten. And if you need those right fingertips on the floor just for a little balance, that's okay. It's not going to affect what we're trying to do here. We're strengthening that thigh, those quadriceps, and the outside of the glutes, right? But we're also working on balance. It's funny, this is my weaker leg and it's easier over here. It's weird. All right, now we're floating into our high lunge. So fingers for balance. Hop that foot down, take a moment, rise up. How's that thigh feel? Square off those hips, sink into it. So draw the heel down, even though it's not going to touch, most likely. Pull the belly back and float those arms up. Rising up. Interlace the fingers. Try and switch to that grasp to the funny feeling one. Extend those arms up. Reach up. Maybe go back a little further if it feels good. Breathe. Nice inhale. Exhale, gaze forward. Hop it on forward, floating in to our warrior 3 variation. Again, keep that left knee bent if you need to get stable. Release those hands, float it to your warrior 2. Let those arms come down so you can find the feet and the legs. Open up that knee. And again, let's give this kind of seesaw, if you will, in the hips to try and open up that right inner thigh and groin. All right, let's bring it down. Sink into that right hip. Draw it down as far as you can as you open up that left knee. Float up those arms. Draw the belly in as you reach out through the fingertips and gaze over that left index finger, right, staring right at the fingernail. Breathe in. Start reaching for the wall in front of you till you're almost laying on that thigh or as close as you can get. Elbow on the thigh or hand inside the leg. Reach up. Sink down. All right, so right palm comes down, plant it, open to the opposite side. Float that foot back to your Vashisthasana. Vashistha. Get strong as I almost fall over. Inhale, exhale, around a plank. Inhale, push up. Exhale, knees down. Lie down. All right, our full Shalabhasana, locust pose. This actually isn't the full pose, by the way. I have never done or taught the full pose. The full pose is actually with like your forehead on the floor and just the legs float like straight up above the shoulders. Go ahead, try that if you want. I'm gonna do this variation. So I like to start with my arms along the sides and just find that lift in the chest and then float the legs up. And then I sweep them forward. Lift the thumbs up, lift the heels up, 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 and let go. Let go, let go. Palms under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Push up, nice inhale. And exhale back to those heels once again. Stretch it out. And up to our downward facing dog. Ah, good job. Pull those feet, rock those hips, grab a drink, take a nap. Maybe you need an extended child's pose for a breath or two. Either place, child's pose, extended child's pose, downward facing dog. Find your breath wherever you're at. So if you're in down dog, this time let's settle. Let's feel the pose. If you're in extended child's pose, same thing. Just feel the pose and find the breath. So if you're in down dog, sink down through those heels, push back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, let the head relax. Draw the belly way into the spine. It's actually kind of, you're drawing the belly button in, but you actually feel below the belly button engaged. And breathe. It's like you're trying to hollow out the area under the ribs. All right, bend those knees, look up, inhale and exhale. Tiptoe those feet to the front. Keep those heels lifted as you can. if you can. Little bit of space in between the feet. Bring that bottom down. Sit right down on the calves if you can. I can't get down that low, so this is as low as I can go, but if you can sit right down on those calves, go for it. Bring those hands up if you can to the heart and balance. And fingers to the floor, lift the hips, bring the heels down, half lift, inhale. Exhale, hinge, and all the way up. And to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, dive. Inhale. And exhale, step those feet back to plank. Setting up for our chaturanga and our up dog this time. So let's find our plank. Nice and solid. Now remember, on your chaturanga, you're only going down as far as you can with integrity, so you're not dumping the hips or dumping the shoulders. So it might only be a little bit of a bend in the elbows. Okay, so shift on forward onto those toes, bend the elbows, see how low you can go without losing it. Flip those feet. Inhale up into your up dog. Pause here, pull the shoulders back, pull the heart through, forward, lift the knees up, maybe the chin. Just like we did at the very beginning, use your core to slowly, 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 slower than you want to, lift those hips to your down dog. Flip those feet when you need to. Pedal the feet, rock the hips. All right, bend those knees, look up, inhale, exhale, find your way to the front. Step, hop or float it. Half lift when you get there. And hinge. All the way up. Inhale. So let's scooch those feet all the way together if they're not. Reach those arms up, come on over to the right. Grab that left wrist or below it, below the wrist, and stretch that arm out. If it feels okay on the shoulder, if that doesn't feel okay on the shoulder, then don't pull. And then find your side bend. So those hips are gonna push off to the side. They have to for balance. That's okay. And you can keep going as long as the body says it's okay. Breathe. Core, pull it in. All the way up, reach up, inhale. Exhale, other side, take your time, pull if it feels okay. Find that stretch, push those hips over for balance. Breathe. Core. Inhale. Exhale, dive it down, keep those feet close so we get a little different stretch here. Pivot those hips, find your stretch, grab those legs and pull on in. And bend those knees, step that left foot back, open those toes to the side and rise up back to our warrior two stance. So float on into your warrior two. Think of all that stuff we worked on in our last warrior two, that hip sinking down, that knee opening up, those nice soft shoulders. Sink into it a little deeper. Can you go a little lower without the hip popping up to really get on the inside of that left inner thigh? And reverse. Reach through those fingertips. Find that breath. And come on down. Come as low to that thigh, as close to that thigh as you can. Again, if you can get that right palm planted right inside the foot, great. If you can't, who cares? Open it up, reach up. So this time, we're gonna try staying facing this way when we come into our side plank. So we've got to kind of lift the hips and inch that foot back and slide it underneath. That's why I always do it the other way. It's easier actually to flip it around. So take a moment to find your side plank on that right hand. And go ahead and lift that left leg if you can into five-pointed star. And around to plank. You might have to do a little hop there if you want to keep that left leg lifted. Push up, 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 up. Shift forward onto those toes. Chaturanga, the leg can stay up or not. It can come down. Can you do your up dog with that left foot lifted? Inhale, exhale, down dog. That left leg floats up. If it wasn't, nice inhale, exhale, kick it through to lunge. I love you. I really wish you guys were here. We could huff and puff together. Rise up. Sink it down. Pull that belly back. Interlace, extend through those fingers and find it. Can you go deeper than you did last time? Maybe, maybe not. Listen to your body. Inhale, exhale, dive it forward. Ooh, take your time. Back into our warrior 3 variation. This time, float that left hand down, find that teepee, use a block if you need it for your balancing half moon. Take a moment to get set up before you start to open that hip. Reach through that right heel, float that arm up, find your breath. Use your drishti. So if you're really wobbly here, use that focal point inside the hand. If you're more stable, turn the gaze to the side. If you want to reach around and grab that foot behind you for this kind of half bow variation, feel free. Slowly release. We're simply going to bring that foot down next to the other. So even off those feet, walk the hands back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hinge. Bend the knees, lift the heels up. Squatting back down as low as you can go. Again, if you can get all the way down on those calves, great. Hands back to the heart. Okay, fingers to the floor. Stay here and inch that left foot forward. Okay, so now I can sit down on that leg because I'm not on my bad side. Okay, so we're just floating it forward and as low as you can get. So I don't know what this is going to look like on the other side for me because I'm only on one leg. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it at all. We'll see. All right, so that leg's extended out. See if you can bring the hands to the heart. Now, you have to shift backwards to try and float that foot up. Oh dear God, there go my hands. Find your breath wherever you're at. Just play with it. It's something new. Just play. There's no right or wrong. I haven't done this in a long time. So, all right, bring it on down. Lift up, slide that foot back. Half lift, hinge, and all the way up. Scooch those feet back in all the way, right up against each other. Inhale up, exhale, dive. Find that stretch, pull it in. And bend those knees. Step the right foot back and rise up and open to the side. That's correct, right? Yeah. All right, let's find it. Sink into that right hip. Open up that left knee, float those arms up. Back to our warrior 2. Find the breath. Soften the jaw and gaze and sink deeper. How can you go? How much into that right hip can you sink? Don't let that left knee go past the ankle though. Side's tighter. Reverse. Breathe. Reach. Notice. And slowly release. Bring that hand down to the floor if you can. If you can get it all the way down, great. If you can't, oh well. Who cares? Block. The only problem with the block is we got to figure out how to get into our side plank from there. All right, take a moment. Hop that left foot back to side plank. Lift that right leg up. If you're doing your 5-pointed star, bring it around to 3-legged plank again. Do kind of a little hop and a little maneuvering there to get situated. Shift forward, inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, 3-legged if you are doing that variation. And then down dog, lift that right leg up. Nice inhale, lift high, exhale. Bring it on through. Rise up. Square off. Bring those arms up, interlace. Opposite grasp if you can. Stretch it up and bring it back. Keep that breath going. Inhale. Exhale, dive it forward. Take a moment. Reach, breathe, notice. Our warrior 3 variation. How straight can you get that right leg now? And release into your half moon. Take your time. Right hand to the floor. Take your time. Whatever you did on the other side. If you reached back for that foot. And slowly release, spin towards the floor. Bring that foot down right next to the other. Walk the hands back. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, hinge. And bend those knees. Squat on down. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do this on this side because of my knee, because you almost have to be able to sit right down on that calf, as you guys probably found out on the other one, to be able to do this. So I'm going to bring my knee down to the floor and try it this way because I can't do it the other way, right? So we're stretching out that right leg in the front. Take a moment, bring those hands back to the heart and see if you can float that right leg up at all. Ooh, this is just as hard. I can't even do it on this side. All right, bring those fingers to the floor if they're not already. Slide it in, get those feet together, inch them in. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, inch. And all the way up into the heart. All right, we're gonna work. No, we already did that, good. Oh, good, we don't have to do it. Inhale up, exhale, dive it down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step it back to plank. Find that last plank, last one. Make it a good one. Inhale, push up, push up, push up. Knees down, lie down, or chaturanga. And up dog, your choice. Work your way through with your breath. Back to our downward facing dog. Pedal those feet. Rock those hips. All right, let's bring those feet close together, right up against each other. Let me flip around. All right, let's float that left leg up. Open it to the side. So push on back. Draw that nice straight line with the body from the shoulder to the ankle. And lift that left leg as high as you can without pulling the leg back. And then bend that knee and push the hips forward as you draw the foot behind you. Nice inhale, exhale, pigeon pose. Bring that knee through. Take a moment. Find that just right place for your body. We might not have warmed up this particular area, like we haven't done any piriformis stretches, but we've warmed up the hips and thighs quite a bit. So your body should be fairly ready for this. Take a moment, find that just right amount of stretch. Square off those hips. Pull the hips forward. Draw the belly button down towards the floor. And slowly release, kind of fall, just fall on over to that left hip. Rise on up, and we're gonna, let me go this way. Okay, and so we're just kind of hanging out on that hip we just fell over on. And we're stretching. Well, let me go this way, sorry. All right, so we're bringing the knee down so it's right in front of the hip. And push up, the elbows under the shoulder, push up away from the floor so we're not sinking into that shoulder, and go ahead and lift that right leg up and just grab inside it. If you can, try not to drop back and down here. Try staying lifted up and try to keep this hip stacked on top of the other as you pull the leg up and up and up. If you got really long arms or you're flexible, you might be able to grab the foot or the toe. Carrie, you should be able to grab this. You can adjust that left knee down. The higher up the leg goes, you might have to adjust that left knee. Keep pushing up through the ribs and draw that foot. Close that leg closer for infinity pose. And release. Slide that left leg straight. Lift up the hips, bring them back down just so you're right on the side of those hips, and slide that left arm forward. Okay, so take a moment to get that straight line going with the body. So you've got shoulder, hip, and ankles in line. Reach back and grab that right foot. Bring that knee down so it's straight out from the hip for your quad stretch. Pull that heel in. Pull the knee back if you need to. Roll the shoulder open. Push into that left arm, that upper arm and shoulder. Then lift that foot up. Kick back as you push the ribs forward. Let that shoulder roll open. Spin the eye of the elbow up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes up to the ceiling. For our half bow. Nice inhale. Exhale, release into our twist. Bring that right knee forward. Inch that left shoulder over to the left a little bit as you go into your twist. And just fall open. And roll it on over onto the belly. You have to do some maneuvering there to stay on your mat. Okay, we kind of automatically are on our elbows for this, so we're gonna take the advantage to the opportunity to do Sphinx. All right, so get those elbows underneath those shoulders. Lift the hips up, scoop the tailbone under, so pull the belly away from the floor as you bring that pubic bone down and start to pull the heart forward and keep that belly lifting away from the floor. You might have to adjust the elbows there. Try and pull the shoulders back as you pull the heart forward. Maybe the chin lifts. If it feels okay, you can try lifting those elbows into extended Sphinx. If that doesn't feel good, please don't do it. Breathing. Bring those elbows down, inch them out to the sides so you can make a pillow for the head with the hands. Maybe give those hips a little wiggle if it feels good. Tuck those toes, palms under the shoulders, push straight up, nice inhale. Exhale back to those heels once again. And back to our downward facing dog. All right, I ended up flipping around, so I hope I don't screw this up. All right, there we go. All right, feet together, root those hands. Float that right leg up. Draw that left heel down. Start to open the hip. It's like you're trying to stack that right hip right on top of the left. Push back. Keep those shoulders and arms strong. And lift that right leg up. Straight line from the wrist to the shoulder to the ankle. And then bend that knee. Start to draw the foot behind you. Push the ribs forward, just like we did in our half moon. Or not our half moon, our half bow. And then pigeon pose. Take a moment to find it. Grab that foot if you need to. Bring that left hip down, get it square. Pull the heart forward, bring the belly button down towards the floor. So you're pivoting those hips forward. We want a nice flat back. We want to feel those hips moving forward just like we do in all our other forward bends. Keep that breath going. Notice how this side feels compared to the other. All right, so fall on over to that right hip. We're just going to kind of slide, inch that right knee forward a little bit and get that elbow underneath us. Okay, so once you get that left leg kind of extended out, lift up and come back down. Okay, and again, you can play around with exactly where this right knee is as we go deeper into this, but let's push away from the floor, get those ribs lifting, And maybe engage the core, that might help. And just lift the leg up. So this could be it, right? This is good. That hip wants to fall back because it makes it so much easier to get here. Okay, so try to keep that hip stacked and just see where you can go with it. Now I've got ridiculously long arms, so I make it look easy. Plus I'm flexible. My hip's pulling back though, so I'm gonna bring it back. Push away from the floor, breathe, notice. And slowly release, slide that right leg out. And come on down to the shoulder. The arms straight out in front of you to a T. Take a moment to get the body straight. Push into that shoulder and that arm to hold the head up. Reach back for that foot. Bring the knee down for your quad stretch. Pull that heel into the bottom and move the knee back. Push the hips forward a little if you need to for more stretch. Keep breathing, keep pushing away from the floor. Lift that foot up, kick it back. Lift the ribs up and push them forward a little so you've got enough to push forward through when you kick back. Let that shoulder roll open. The eye of the elbow spins open towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes up to the ceiling. Keep pushing forward through those ribs, especially if you're going back. Breathe. And release into our twist. Bring that left knee down. You might inch the right shoulder over a little bit before you open that left arm. Close the eyes and just fall into your twist. Let that left arm just fall open. Let that shoulder melt. This time we're rolling onto our back. So bring that foot over. Again, you might have to kind of inch your way over so that you stay on your mat. Feet on the floor. And let's inch those feet in so those ankles get right underneath those knees. Lift those hips up a little bit. Start inching those shoulders underneath us for bridge pose. Okay, remember one of the key pieces, one of the key tricks here to keep this from pinching the low back is drawing the chest towards the chin like we do in shoulder stand. And then the glutes squeeze and the thighs engage. Press the arms into the floor to help that chest lift more. So it's not just the hips lifting, it's the chest lifting. We're trying to get all of that upper back off the floor. If you want to come into any other variations here, if you want to grab a block and toss it underneath for a moment, or get your hands underneath you to hold those hips, if that's available to you, feel free to do that. Finding the breath wherever you're at. If you've got a block or your hands underneath you and you feel like you could float those feet up, feel free. We don't have to, you don't have to do this. You could do it with the hips down on the floor. Okay. We can even come into this candlestick. Now, we haven't really warmed the neck up a whole lot for plow. Our shoulders are warmed up enough for shoulder stand, but I love plow. But when I do it, when I'm not warmed up, I'm much, much, much more careful. So if you'd like to come into plow, feel free, but please go slow and please listen to your body. This is a lot right now. It's a great neck stretch. That's what this is for. So you're supposed to feel it in the neck. It's supposed to stretch the neck, but we don't want to overdo it. Okay, so listen to your body. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. So you can come back into candlestick or any variation of shoulder stand that feels right for you. If you're going to come into shoulder stand, make sure you wiggle those shoulders and elbows underneath you a little bit more. Only as deep as feels good. Again, normally I would warm up the neck a little more for this. So take your time, making your way out of wherever you're at. Everybody may be at a different place, so take your time. Go slow, intentional. Ooh. Let those feet hit the floor eventually and let the arms flop open. Find the breath and just let the body rest. And if it feels good to drop those knees from side to side, do that. Keep the head on the floor for now. All right, and let's draw those knees on into the chest. Give a little rock from side to side. All right, let's keep those knees bent for now, and then we'll straighten them out maybe if it feels okay. So lift up the chest until you can inch your elbows underneath you and get, so you're standing on your elbows or underneath the shoulders, and then inch the fingertips underneath the hips, the back of the hips, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So squeeze them together and push the chest up away from the floor, up towards the ceiling, and see if it feels okay to stretch those legs out. Uh-oh, come on. Won't straighten. Okay, and wiggle the hips back. So you're more sitting on your fingertips with your buns instead of your hips now. And push your hips forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together again and lift the chin up. And as you bring the head back, keep reaching through the chin. Okay, so this is our option A. We can hang out here and stay here. If you want to come in to the variation where our head is resting on the floor, you almost have to kind of bend the knees to slide yourself back. You're going to end up sitting on your hands, which is very uncomfortable for some people. You guys should be okay. But if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. You end up sitting on your wrists. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together, and you're really trying to open up the throat. So just listen to your body and remember our goal of this pose, Matsyasana fish pose, is to open up the throat and chest, doing the opposite pose we just did in shoulder stand or candlestick. Okay, we're not, well, we have to. So push into your elbows, just enough to slowly, 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 with control, lift your head up to the chest. Bring one hand out, the other, and bring your way down to the floor. Flop into Shavasana for a moment. Just let everything neutralize. And let's kick those feet on up to happy baby. So grab those feet, grab those ankles, whatever you can grab. Pull the center of the back of the hips down as you pull those feet down. So try and keep those ankles stacked right above the knees. If you like to rock here, feel free to rock, or if you like that variation that we do where we're kind of coming into a mini archer's pose where we stretch one leg out to the side and bring the other one in towards center, you can kind of go from side to side here. We can tell we neglected those inner thighs a little bit, not completely, but quite a bit. All right, let's get into them a little bit. Let's go ahead and stretch those legs out to the side. Let those drop open. Just let the weight of the legs. You could totally relax the legs. I promise you, they're not gonna. We do this up against the wall, right? When we do our legs up the wall variations, right? And we just let those feet fall open. This is it. They're not gonna. I actually bounce them sometimes because I feel like the weight of the legs isn't quite enough. Or you can push on the insides of the legs to push deeper if it feels okay. If they feel stuck. This is a tight spot for me, so they get stuck. All right, slowly, with control, use your inner thigh muscles to slowly lift up so you're using that strength. And then bring the feet to the floor. Open the knees up into reclined butterfly. So draw that belly down into the spine gently as you let those knees fall open. Let them relax. Let the weight of the legs do the work once again. See what happens when we get going quickly right at the beginning of class? Like, we actually have time for Shavasana. I'm not going to be rushing through it today. Put this one in the record books, girl. So we're going to end on time. All right, so slowly release that. I think I need a twist. So that's what I'm going to do right now for my body. So think of something that your body wants or needs. Or maybe it's a couple things, maybe it's more than one. So take a moment to do any last movements, stretches. The body feels it needs. And start to think about where the body wants and needs to be for your final relaxation. So if you're at home doing this practice like later and we're not here, and don't skip your shavasana. It's the most important part of your practice. Unless you have to. I mean, sometimes we gotta cut out, right? So take a moment to find that just right place. And then start to settle. Start to feel those arms and legs relax. Just notice how the legs feel in this moment. Notice how the arms feel. And then bring your awareness back to the legs. And bring all of your awareness, all of your intention to that left leg, from the hip to the toes. Just become fully aware of that leg, any sensations in the leg. And just feel the leg slowly get heavier. Feel the muscles in the upper thigh, from the knee to the hip, the top of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the inner and outer thigh. Just feel those muscles completely relax and release. Feeling the upper leg get really heavy and relaxed. Bring all of your awareness and attention to the lower left leg, from the knee to the ankle. Notice whatever you can notice. And then feel all of those muscles in the shin, the calf, completely relaxed, heavy. And then curl those toes really tight. Curl them down. Crunch, 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 and then let go and let the foot drop. Feeling the heaviness of the foot as it falls towards the floor. Or falls open at the wall. Feet and legs up the wall. And now notice the difference between the left leg and the right leg, if there is any. And let's bring all of our attention and awareness to that right leg, from the hip to the toes. Noticing the thigh, the entire thigh, all the way around. Feeling all of the quadriceps and all of the hamstrings relax and let go. Everything from the hip to the knee, completely relaxed and free. And bringing all of your awareness and attention to the calf and the shin. Imagining every muscle from the knee to the ankle completely relaxed, heavy, like dead weight. And bringing awareness to your foot, curling those right toes, squeezing them tight, and then let them go. Let that foot fall open and relax. Feeling the heaviness in that right leg. Both legs completely relaxed and heavy. Feeling your buttocks melt into the floor a little more. All of the organs settle down into all those muscles in the back. And the weight of the organs helps those muscles to relax, helps weigh them down and settle them down. All of the muscles in the back from the hips to the shoulders, just melting down into the floor. And all of those muscles supporting the shoulders. All those muscles leading from the chest and upper back into the upper arm. Releasing so those shoulders can melt a little more. All of the muscles on top of the shoulder that attach into the neck. Completely relax to help those shoulders drop even more. And both arms feel heavy and relaxed. Noticing the face. Feeling every muscle in the jaw and face relax. No more clenching. Feeling all of the muscles around the eyes relax, allowing the eyes to get heavy. Feeling them sink a little deeper into their sockets. And bringing all of your awareness and attention to the breath. Just feeling the breath in the body. Feeling a nice, slow, long, easy breath make its way in. Feeling yourself being filled up with the inhales. So you could breathe in exactly what you wanted to. What do you want to be filled up with today? What do you want to walk out into the world with today, even if we don't literally walk out into the world? Right? What kind of energy do you want to put out? Breathe it in. Before we can put it out into the world, we have to have it in, right? We have to have it inside of us. So thinking of that thought, that feeling that you want to come back to throughout your day. Maybe it's peace, joy, hope, happiness, gratitude, empathy, compassion, forgiveness. What do you want to let go of today? Feeling whatever may be weighing on you, release with each exhale. Anxiety, fear, worry, stress, resentment, anger, any of that stuff that weighs us down. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. And then let go. Let go of everything, all thought, all effort. Just let the mind empty for a moment. Letting yourself come to stillness, emptiness, if you will, just for a moment. And then noticing how the body feels in this moment. Noticing if there's any parts of the body that are asking to be moved first. And moving them. If not, then just starting to move the body in whatever way feels right and good for you. Starting to stretch and wiggle and move. Take your time. Stretching, wiggling, moving, till that body feels ready to rise up. Take your time. Keep your eyes closed if you can on your journey upward. And again, take your time getting there eventually, landing in Anjali Mudra, prayer at the heart. Bringing those hands right into the heart, push them in, sit up tall and tuck the chin, find the breath again. Think of that thought we just breathed in, breathe it right in here to the heart center. Feel it fill you up. And then bowing down. Sealing in your practice, saying thank you to yourself for showing up here on your mat today.